Music of the Spheres by Coldplay, and that is 12 songs, 41 minutes long, and this is a heaping pile of garbage bullshit where they put emojis in, and I'm mad. God damn it! And you shouldn't listen to this. Don't give Chris Martin any more money. Stop it now. Dan, your thoughts before I get bleeped.
Uh, we listened to Music of the Spheres by Coldplay, so you don't have to. Um,
Yep.
it's 41 minutes long, 42 minutes long. Uh, Half the songs are emoji titles. And believe me when I say I'm not trying to sound like a Zoomer, those songs are just vibes. Like, it's
Well, they're just
no music,
ambient.
just vibes.
They're just ambient things because they try to make a concept record about not being on Earth and shit. Because that's all Coldplay do the past 10 years is just make random concept records about space and the universe all the time,
And
and every
colors.
time and colors, and it's not very good. And I think I found something I hate more than when you title tracks or make a record that's full of caps is with emojis. So if anyone else puts emojis as song titles, you are officially on my worst music of the year list. I don't care who you are. If Tom York, if you do it, I'm giving it to you, my guy. I don't care. I hate it with a passion.
We have a fast track rule now. It's interesting.
It's extreme fast track. At least that's the Sean rule.
It's it's really, this album is maybe 5 songs. Like, out of 12 songs, 5 of them are songs. One of them is just an overboard long ass piece, and then the rest are just like weird transitionary vibes, right? This is supposedly a quarantine album. If we're gonna be more cynical here, this is like a bunch of songs rushed to help ride the BTS wave. I mean, it's sort of what just looks like, just from viewing out here, because they released that song with BTS My Universe, which we didn't
Yeah,
review as a single because we already talked about Higher Power, which wasn't confidence
which is
inspiring
horrible.
either.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what we're getting at, like, while we can be serious for a moment before we just like trash into this whole thing,
Yeah.
is that, as we talked about in our Coldplay bonus episode 121 bonus that you can listen to in the archives, there was a time when Coldplay was making, they were at the very edge of alternative rock music. Like, they were just like pushing the boundaries there. This was in the early
Absurdly good.
2000s. And please listen to that episode because we go into it and it's only like 40 minutes even, so it's not even that long. But ultimately, you get to a point where, as we've sort of like surmised, Coldplay got a touch of fame. They loved those arena shows. They loved like
After
NFL
Viva La
halftime
Vida.
shows and things like that. And a lot of their music seems to be driven by that, seeking more eyeballs, and the
Exactly.
sound has gone further and further and further by the wayside. They will disagree with you very vehemently on this fact, but the music speaks for itself.
Exactly. As I like to say, how do you go from tracks like Yes and Strawberry Swing to a track called Beautiful, which I'm going to get to in a second? Higher Power after Saturn Emoji. I already hate saying this already. It just, I'm a pop track, and it just because they had, they're these. I think a thing with Coldplay too, going before we like really super dive into the record. They released Everyday Life in 2019, which we both actually liked. We enjoyed the record, thought it was a step in the right direction after 3 records in a row of them just more and more going to the pop sphere and losing touch with who they are as musical artists and just completely selling out just for arena shows and eyeballs because Chris Martin wants to date more movie stars and shit. Um, but Everyday Life was their worst selling record to date. It did not chart well. It did not sell well and stuff because it was a very understated record. It was more of their indie style, and it kind of combined the styles of their older songs with the newer tracks, which I enjoyed. So I think with this, they rushed it because I think they got a little self conscious of, oh, did we lose that? We didn't, because they didn't get to tour that album much because of naturally of 2020, and I feel like they really wanted to just rush music to get more eyeballs on them and say, hey, look, we can still do arenas, we can still do this, we can still be one of the best artists out there, and so on and so forth. And you can hear that because Higher Power, it sounds like just a really rushed pop song. They went with, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's Max something, a producer who has produced like a generations of pop from Britney Spears to NSYNC to Backstreet Boys to some of Taylor Swift and The Weeknd stuff. And they worked with this producer for the first time on Higher Power and on My Universe with BTS. I think to really pump it out and try to get as much engagement as you can for views, for clicks,
You're
to
talking about
get
Max
it out.
Martin?
Max Martin, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, I know he's a lead Scandinavian producer. He's been doing production for like 27 years or something like that. Been all over tracks. You've definitely heard a lot of his production. Um, After Higher Power, you get Humankind, and it's again more the same. Just you're over generalized pop. The production sounds super cheap. It's not. It's nothing um, to be like really pumped for. It's just lackluster and cheap.
It would have been sort of hacky and overdone in 2011, but 10 years later,
It's horror exactly because they made the pivot to Milo Xylo in 2011, and that was already a pivot as is. You could say, okay, they're trying something different in 2011, whatever. But then the past couple records since then, it's just been more of the same, trying to make pop heavy records, make pop sounding tracks and whatnot just to sell at arenas. Um, then you have whatever emoji that is, and then you have Let Somebody Go with Selena Gomez, and it's a little piano ballad. And again, it just, even with Selena Gomez on the track, she can't make the track good. It just sounds, again, cheap and overproduced and not very well thought out. And
yeah.
that's basically like a theme of this whole record.
I had a little bit of hope around People of the Pride. It felt like that was a song where, okay, and Coldplay has teased me a lot with this, where like I would point to, at least personally for me, and A Head Full of Dreams, Adventure of a Lifetime was one of their poppier songs, but it felt like they were
And that was
creating,
actually a decent pop track.
yeah, it felt like within the song they're creating like a musical soundscape and a journey with different parts and bits to it, but in a standard rock track, 4 minutes long. It felt like more vast, like a classical piece. More on that later. But like People of the Pride, it feels like they're trying to do some like like rock revival sort of thing, like a lot of artists are trying to do from the Coldplay kind of era. And it's like they maybe still got it, but then they keep doubling down and arguing as a band that no, it's songs like Let Somebody Go and Humankind and My Universe and Bei Teufel that are where we're pushing forward and doing things well. But
Can I talk about that track? Can I talk about beautiful?
sure,
This
take the
is my
wheel.
least favorite thing I've ever listened to on Audioface. This might take over the quality control boat skirt for the worst thing I've ever listened to for this podcast. Dan, don't say I don't work hard for this, because I force myself like this to not rip my headphones off and to listen to this because I wanted to get angry because of how bad it is. It sounds like somebody took a Fisher Price toy, stuck a melodica in it, sang through it, made it up in about 2 minutes for a high school project that they forgot about, turned it in and said, "There you go, that's my project." And the teacher's like, "Get the fuck out of my classroom, you're out." And it's horrible. It's
It
so bad.
Yeah, it sounds like Coldplay's trying to make Zoomer bedroom pop.
It's like they're trying to
And
make fucking um what's the stupid app Zeds use all the time that I don't it's TikTok, there you go. Can think of it. The
Jesus
scrolly
Christ,
boy.
showing your age, brother.
Yeah, I don't do that shit. You know that. It sounds like
Honestly,
a,
for the
a
better.
TikTok track. Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like one of those it sounds like one of those TikTok ads where it has some like weirdly dreamy music in the background. It's like has a robot voice that's like, look at
Yeah,
this new thing that you should spend your money on now. Like it's like one of those like
ex-
ad background
ex-
songs.
yeah, exactly. That's what I thought of it as. It was one of those robot sound voices, which I guess that's what TikTok is half the time. Then you get Earth emoji, which the Earth is on fire now apparently, and then you get My Universe of BTS, which is just a pop clusterfuck.
That's what the like make no mistake, that's what the album was made for. This album is meant to be a
Seriously,
briefcase around My Universe with Coldplay and BTS. And to be fair, BTS said, "Oh, it'd be cool to work with Coldplay or something." And Coldplay was like, "Huh? Money?"
us? Really? We can still do it. And then you have Infinity Sign, and then Coloratura,
A
the
10
last
minute
track.
long orchestral song where, again, Coldplay it's almost like Coldplay are having whatever Weezer's smoking, where like they insist, no, we're a good band and we're going to do what we like and people like it. So we're going to continue doing it. It's just an absolute refusal to listen to outside criticism.
Yeah, it sucks because there's Coloratura is 10 minutes long, a little over 10 minutes long. There's like a brief 45-second period towards like 6.5 minutes where it sounds like old Coldplay, like Viva La Vida X and Y style Coldplay, where I have like a hint of like, oh my god, and then it goes back to horribleness right after, like shortly thereafter into the middle of the track, and I go, well, we tried. And it's horrible. It's really bad.
It's I can't
Okay,
say I can't say I
genuinely for a
expected better.
because we review a lot of pop on here. We even review pop rock and stuff, and we've done a bunch of other stuff. And this is bad because this year we have a lot of good pop, surprisingly, and this is one of the worst ones we've had so far.
Yeah, this is like an Ariana Grande album I would have reviewed in 2019. This is the same feeling I have towards it. It's just like just really shitty.
Except with less Sean controversies and more Sean anger.
Yeah. Wonder what the difference is there. Arbitrary Scale this week is self-report. Arbitrary Scale this week. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia's top donors. I'm gonna give this the Northrop Grumman.
God damn it. I was going to do the same. Okay, just to be different, I'm going to give this the National Association of Realtors.
Oh God. Actually, can I give this One America AT&T Inc?
That's a good one too.
Oh my God.